Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a cocktail known as an IRN BRU Spritz. It's very simple, very traditional if you are from Great Britain. This was actually invented as a cocktail to celebrate Robert Burns Day in England, even though the main ingredient comes from Scotland. So the ingredients are pretty simple. So you have IRN BRU, and this is a soft drink that was created in Scotland in 1905 by A.G. Barr. Now, if you, like myself, have lived in the United States through the President Trump era, when you hear A.G. Barr, you generally think of Attorney General Barr. No, in this case, the man's initials were A.G. So he created IRN BRU in Scotland around 1905. The claim was that this was a good iron-rich drink, and they used to have these outlandish advertisements for it that would suggest that they would melt down iron girders or let them dissolve into the brew. Of course, none of that's true. It sounded good anyway. So then along comes the British government saying that they have to insist on truth in advertising, and so they had to change the name from being spelled out as the word iron and the word brew to this IRN BRU, not because it didn't contain iron. One of the ingredients in this particular soft drink is ammonium ferrocitrate. So it does have a strong iron content, which is good for your health. But the reason that they had to change the name was because it's not brewed. It's not beer, it's just a simple soft drink. So they changed the name to IRN BRU. Another one of the ingredients it contains is quinine. That it's a flavor that the English and Scotch seem to be very much in love with. And it comes all the way back from the Second World War, when troops in both the United States and Great Britain would return from Southeast Asia and the South Pacific with malaria. And quinine is actually a natural anti-parasitic, and so it was used to treat malaria, which is caused by a parasite. So the second ingredient then is Prosecco. Prosecco is a white wine that comes from northeast Italy, generally the Veneto region or the Friuli region. And the grape that it's made from is also called Prosecco. They are sometimes still white wines, but very rarely. Usually they're either spumante or sparkling, so it's really strong in gas, kind of like a champagne, or it could be frizzante, so fizzy, more like a soft drink. And then finally, we have a little bit of Angostura bitters we're going to put in there. This is basically just a little bit of alcohol and the flavor of some baking spices. So I'm going to show you how to set this up traditionally, and you can adjust to your particular flavor preferences as you go. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to go ahead and add our IRN BRU. You can see in the glass, all I've got is one large ice cube. It doesn't recommend using broken up ice because it would water down the flavor too quickly. So we just got one huge cube in there. So we're going to start with traditionally 5.5 ounces of IRN BRU. So let me find my measure here. And this only measures 4 ounces at a time, so I'll have to come back for a second shot at it. So there's 4. And I'm going to need another 1.5 here. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll just stop right there. I'll just have to make it a little bit lighter this time, otherwise I won't have room for the Prosecco in this particular glass. So normally I would do 4.25 ounces of Prosecco, but in this little bit smaller glass, I'm going to have to cut that back a little bit. Now in this particular case, this Prosecco, this isn't a really good one. This is kind of a cheaper Prosecco, but remember, we're mixing it with a soft drink. So you don't want to take a fine wine and mix it with something not so fine. And so this one is more sparkling. So it's got the little cage around the top. If you're unfamiliar with how to uncork something like this, you take the cage off. You always want some pressure on the top. Cover it in a cloth, and you hold it tight, and you rotate the bottle, not the cork. And there you go. We're unstopped. And so we'll just go ahead and fill this guy up like that. We'll add a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. And stir that in. And there we go, an IRN BRU Spritz. Now you can, if you want to decorate it with something, you can always top it off with a slice of lemon. That's actually traditional. Let me give this a try. Very good, very gingery. Kind of has a flavor of ginger ale to it. But I think I like it. It's a nice summer drink that you can make. Very flavorful. Generally Prosecco or anything that's sparkling is generally served chilled, as well as the soft drink. So it's a good summer drink. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.